Now, one thing to note here is this icon on the top, which gives you some stats about this free tool. So when you click on this administration tab, you will notice it has, so this tool, you can have a maximum of 5 instances. When I say 5 instances, you can have up to 5 Excel workbooks. So at this point, I have the Excel books, which have been converted into TM1 instance. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. I hope you and your family are well and safe. Today is Tuesday, October the 13th of 2020, and it's 3 p.m. here in Sydney, Australia. Welcome back to another session of Octane Virtual Meetup, where we focus and talk about IBM Planning Analytics powered by TM1. For those of you who are attending this session for the first time, I would like to let you know that we do these virtual meetup sessions every month. And today we'll be covering a very interesting topic, spreadsheet transformation utility tool by IBM. As usual, I'll start the session introducing about myself. My name is Samir, and I work for Octane Software Solution as a managing consultant here in Sydney, Australia. I've been working for Octane since 2016, and last month we celebrated Octane's 4th anniversary. I've been working with IBM Planning Analytics Solutions since 2007, so it's been almost close to 14 years now. I'm a certified IBM Planning Analytics developer. Apart from being an architect for numerous large global projects, I've also been a project manager wherein I have managed both the on-site and offshore resources. My email is mentioned in the last line of this slide. Please feel free to shoot me an email in regards to today's session or anything related to IBM Planning Analytics, or even any suggestions or topics you would like me to cover in the next meetup session. For the agenda, I have the following. We'll kickstart the session about Octane, who we are and what we do. And then we will jump into the main topic for today's session, which is spreadsheet transformation utility tool by IBM. And then finally, in the last 5 minutes, we'll wrap up with a Q&A session at the end. So the spreadsheet transformation utility uses a model-driven engineering, artificial intelligence, and machine learning to help convert your Excel spreadsheets into powerful applications that enable collaboration and acceleration to drive performance in your organization. Now, the best thing about this transformation utility tool is that with this tool, you get to explore the IBM Planning Analytics workspace with unrestricted access. You will be getting a personal online instance for you to build your applications, perform what-if analysis, create dashboards, and also you can invite other people in your organization to explore the content and the dashboards that you have created. Now, one thing to note here is that you don't have to worry that if you're new to IBM Planning Analytics, there are guided tutorials with video clips, which will give you comprehensive understanding of how to use this IBM Planning Analytics workspace. Now, one thing to note here is this icon on the top, which gives you some stats about this free tool. So when you click on this administration tab, you will notice it has, so this tool, you can have a maximum of 5 instances. When I say 5 instances, you can have up to 5 Excel workbooks. So at this point, I have the Excel books, which have been converted into TM1 instance. Now, one thing you will notice here is it has got its own dimension names and cube names. Now, if I want to tweak, I can go and click on this employee_ID, which is basically the column name. And I want to change this dimension name to be employee ID. And I can click the save button. So you'll notice that the employee ID, the dimension name has been changed. Now, if I come further, a cube called bonus has been created. But again, because this is holding salary information, I can change that cube name to be payroll. Now, the assumption cube has been created for me, and that cube in TM1 is called as percentage. Now, again, I don't want to call this cube as percentage, sorry, which is here. Now, rather, I want to create this as, so instead of percentage, I'm going to call this as assumption cube. And also, if you want to change other dimensions, yes, as you can see, it has the flexibility to wherein you can change the name of the dimensions and the cubes. Okay, now this is where the real fun starts. So this is where it will take you to IBM Planning Analytics workspace. Okay, so again, as you can see from this screen, this is something not I have done. It has already been built for me. So when I clicked on that create application, it's giving me this book and which already has multiple sheets within this book. Probably I'll go through one by one. What is this? But maybe I'll go with this dimension of the cube first, and then probably I'll jump into the other sheets. So when I click on this cube, you will notice this will take me to a separate book called cubes. And within this cube, the first thing you'll notice here is it's just giving us some introduction of what this cube you can do or what the modeling can be done here. And then you can notice here it has created me two separate sheets, workspace sheets, one for the assumptions, which has got the superannuation, workers' compensation, payroll tax, and bonus. So basically, it has converted this assumption sheet into a cube. And again, you can see on the fly, it has done that for us. And the second sheet you will notice is a payroll sheet. Now that payroll sheet is basically, it has converted this summary sheet. So this has been converted into a cube, and all the data for the salary, super, workers' compensation, all this has been loaded into the cube. And that's what you will see here. So salary, super, workers' compensation, payroll tax, and bonus. Now the next interesting thing to see here is all these Excel formulas what we have. For example, the superannuation basically takes your salary, which is your 5,774, multiply by the assumption B2 cell, which is there is something called super percentage. Now that Excel formula is now converted into a rule. COVID deduction, this time it's $1. Okay, and then I'll set the format of this to be comma. And then I'll save this. Coming back to the cubes. So when I refresh, we should see a new line called COVID deduction $. Okay, going on the left side, you will notice that you will get all your Excel books. So each Excel book is converted into an instance. And within the book, if you have say 5 sheets, so those 5 sheets will become 5 cubes. So one Excel book is one instance, and within that Excel book, if you have multiple sheets, each sheet is a cube. For example, I had the payroll workbook, and within that I had 2 sheets. One is called assumption and one is called the summary. So it automatically converted those into 2 different cubes. So like this, you can have up to 5 Excel books, which will get converted into 5 instances. And once you have that 5 Excel books converted into 5 sheets, and from there onwards, you can do your normal slicing and dicing. For example, if I have to go to the payroll cube, if I have to pick any one view from there, I can add to my sheet. So you can have your cube as the source, you can have CSV file as a source, or you can have dimensions as a source. At this point, there is no external data source connection. But as I mentioned, this is a beta version. So maybe when the full version is released for this trial, for this IBM Planning Analytics on trial version, we might be able to see how to connect to your external database as well. Now, how do we invite users? I think that's my last part of this demo. So as I mentioned, this payroll Excel file has created its own folder. Within that, there is a model and security, or we can even go to the first home screen, which has got this access rights. So within this tool, you will have a series of actions. So things like if you want to add new users or if you want to delete users, you will find all those buttons which has been built for us. So all we have to do is add a new user and then give the name of the email ID of the user, and you can click OK. Right. Before I take some questions, I think I just want to summarize. As you can see, I think this tool has the capability of all the things what we normally do in IBM Planning Analytics. So you just have to maybe sit back and have a coffee while performing the key steps of loading your data, analyzing the data, transforming your data, and then finally you can tweak the model, whether it's your dimension names or your cube names, or whether you want to even add new dimension elements or rules. All those things can be tweaked within that model, but 80% of the model will be there for you. The 20% of tweak, you can do it at the end. And then finally, you can enjoy this amazing and more the powerful utility tool from IBM.